Hello everyone. My name is Mohammed Yamama. I'm the Windows Phone Technical Evangelist for Microsoft Middle East and Africa. I work on evangelizing Windows Phone as a platform in the region. In terms of outreaching more developers and teaching them and delivering sessions and sharing the knowledge that I gain and even like learning from them at some point in time about new technologies, new tools, ensuring that each and every one of us is capable of developing an application and publishing it to the store and eventually making money out of it. That's what we normally do. I work with top app partners in the region. I give sessions across the region, whether it's an offline session or online session. I've been in my role for 2 years now, and that's my Twitter. You can all see the slide deck, right? Am I getting yeses? Okay, perfect. So this is my Twitter, m_yamama. Please feel free to follow me on Twitter, and this is my blog, blogs.msdn.com/v/myamama. That's where you can follow and subscribe to my blog to get the latest Windows Phone development updates. And in today's call, we're running a DPE internship. DPE is the department I work for in Microsoft. It's called Developer and Platform Evangelism, which means that we work with developers and we evangelize our platform and tools to our developers and ensure that they adopt our tools and our platform eventually in building the apps. So we're as Microsoft we're holding an internship, and in this internship program we're having a series of sessions, like 11 sessions or 10 sessions, starting with the introduction to Windows Phone development, and getting more deeper and deeper across session over after the other, till we reach the last session, which is going to be about monetization and how to make money out of and publishing the application, how to make money out of your applications eventually. During these sessions, we're not going to cover everything about Windows Phone. It's going to be really hard to cover everything in 10 sessions. So, but however, I will ensure that you reach a level where you can dig deep on your own and try to get more technical stuff and work on developing the applications. And we're going to create our own community, ensuring that ensuring that we already have the community. We joined the Windows Phone community we're having in the region, and we want to make sure that we're all of us are capable of helping each other and sharing the knowledge and experience we're getting developing an app after the other. If you have any questions, please feel free to stop me. Just write in the IM box in the link, or you can, we're not too many. If you want to ask a question, you feel free to ask it English, Arabic. These are the languages I speak best. Some French, but these are the ones I speak best. So if you have any questions, please feel free to stop me at any time. So let's, I don't know. So this session is not technical again. It's just about sharing technical resources and getting to introduce myself to you guys. And maybe if you have, and once I share the resources we have about Windows Phone, it would be great that I know if you have any questions about what you're planning to do in the next few weeks, or you have any inquiry that you'd like to learn. So let's go to the slide deck, and after we're done, I'll be waiting for your questions and inquiries. Getting started. So it's not moving. Okay, slideshow. So actually, first of all, have you all seen the Windows Phone? I mean, have you played with it? Do you have a user experience to it? If we're getting a no, then we'll do a quick demo about Windows Phone. So if you all know about it, then that's perfect. We're giving you much time back. They're all yeses here, which is good. I mean, like, the phone is picking up. Wow. Okay. So let's jump into the resources right away. Yeah. Okay. And we have hi Omar. Please, if because I'm switching to a oh, okay. I'm switching to a full screen mode. So if there are any questions, please jump in and let me know about it.
Sure thing.
Thank you. So today's agenda. Um, Today's agenda, we're going to talk about the list of resources. We're going to talk about the definition of quality in terms of when it comes to applications, whether it's Windows Phone or other even applications. What are the KPIs for skill assessment? Popular open source frameworks, if you've worked with them before. Some certificates that are available. Milestones to be achieved through a roadmap that we have. So, if first of all, if we take a look at the developer resources that we have. This is kind of a package of what we have here. For the slide decks, you can either I'll share with you the slide deck so that you can have access to all of these links and you can get started. I'll share that with you right after the call. So you bear with me till the end of the call, and I'll make sure that I'll upload it to SkyDrive and then make it available for you guys to download. So for Windows Phone, starting from designing, developing, testing, and publishing applications, we've got links for everything. Microsoft MSN documentation is available for you all guys to start working on that. Whether it's a dev design, Windows WP8, which is Windows Phone 8 dev document, the testing, publishing, and even a huge list of samples that are available that you can use and reference to whenever you're starting to develop a new feature or about Windows Phone 8. We've got also for absolute developers, we've got the Windows Phone Windows Phone 8 for training content for absolute developers or absolute beginners. This is very critical for if you are if you don't have a .NET background or you really need to Windows Phone. If you if you have a .NET background, Silverlight, C Sharp, I think you can just go to the Jumpstart and get started. If you're still new to all of these things, then I think you'd rather go to the absolute beginners video series there than and start watching. And if you feel like it's too simple for you, then you might want to start the Jumpstart videos instead. We've got also the design bootcamp, where there are a lot of design days and things that you can check about design and exploring the Microsoft design language, which is which is a very unique thing that we have, which is inspired by the metro stations that we and the train stations all over the place. That's the essence of the life tiles, and I think during one of the sessions about design, we'll talk about that into more detail. We've also got the training kit, which is a Windows Phone 8 hands-on labs, WP8 HOL hands-on labs. It's a list of hands-on labs that you can all leverage, step-by-step guide and teaching you lots of projects and features that you can use in your applications, like running tracker, continuous background execution, lots of things that you can use. Really, it's very beneficial. Takes you step by step, teaches you everything, full documented. It's very beneficial for you guys to learn. There's also the Windows Phone developer blog. This blog is the official blog by Microsoft team worldwide. This is kind of any development announcement should start getting there. Whether it's like, for example, a new SDK is out, new tools are being shared. Maybe like some sessions to be, I don't know, maybe like a new series of sessions to be announced. Everything about that officially by Microsoft for developers. This is our Windows Phone developer blog, and I'll share with you the sources right away. We've got also my blog. It's I use that a lot to share with you guys my experiencing lots of things for Windows Phone, whether it's new resource, whether it's trying something out and I want to share with you how I did it or how to best do it. I use that a lot, and lots of my blog posts have been featured by Silverlight, Show.net, and Windows Phone Geek Champs, which is good, which is really good. We've got also some Facebook groups, which is Facebook. This is a Facebook page, WP Dev. This is the official Windows Phone developer page on Facebook. Please feel free to subscribe to it. It's very beneficial in terms of sharing with you the latest Windows Phone dev news. We've got also a group that we've created for our developers in the region across Middle East and Africa, coming from South Africa till North Africa, from the west of Africa till Pakistan on the right, and then on top of covering Turkey, Saudi, Gulf, Egypt, all Africa. We've got lots of countries involved, Lebanon, Jordan. We've got lots of countries involved in this, and we've got lots of developers from across the region really being active on this group. And so this group actually what it does is if you've developed something, if you've experienced something, you can share that with the community. If, for example, if you have a blog and then you came up with a blog post, so please feel free to share it across the group so that everyone will learn with you. Whether it's about localizing applications on Windows Phone, using, for example, the accelerometer, the maps, whatever you did and you find really easy to do, please feel free to share it through this group. This group is just for technical people, for developers, and we're all sharing that across the region. If you have any technical inquiries as well, we've lots of people are asking a lot. We're getting a lot of responsive across the region. There's also some Twitter handlers that you can use. Mine is m_. This is I use actually my Twitter is mostly be used for Windows Phone, not for personal use. So my Facebook is more for personal than it is as technical. So please feel free to follow me, and I would be really honored that I get you guys as followers on Twitter. And there's also the WP Dev. This is the official Windows Phone development. You get all the news about Windows Phone development through through this Twitter account. This is the official from Microsoft. We've got also a great source of resources, which is Nokia. Nokia have developed a great source of resources, which is developer.nokia.com/develop/windows_phone. It's really amazing what you can find in there, whether it's code samples, documentation, lots of references to the MSDN documentations, and there are lots of things that Nokia came up with, which is really great addition and asset to what we currently have as in terms of resources for developers. Any questions so far? I've seen some things. The presentable content like whiteboard, is it normal? No, you shouldn't see a whiteboard. You should see that's from Mehdi. No, it's not a whiteboard. I'm sharing a slide deck. So guys, are you seeing a slide deck or a whiteboard? Oh, okay. Okay, now you should see the slide deck again. Yes, and there's a question. Yes, as far as you can see the links that Imam is referring to. Perfect. Thanks, Omar. Can we get this slide afterwards? Yes, we're sharing the slides right after the call. If you want to stay with me so that you ensure that you're getting the slides, please, it's okay. Right after the call, I'll ensure that we have a copy of this slide deck on SkyDrive and give you the link even across the IM so that you all download and keep a copy for yourselves. Okay, so let's move to the next slide, which is the Windows Phone 8 samples chart. Okay, thank you. And this is a very great source. So let me try even to show you that as a live demo. Oh, wow. So for this one, it's it's a sample chart. What you can see here, these are lots of samples for Windows Phone 8 created by Matthias Shapiro. Matthias is a colleague of mine and works in Redmond. He's a very good technical evangelist. He's done this chart. It's a very good chart which tells you, like, if you need a sample that, for example, uses the speech, you just hover your mouse on it, and then you will find, like, we've got sample 2, 3, 4, and sample 12 here. These are the ones that are using speech, voice command, alarm, and these things. If you need something that is using cameras, these are the ones that's using the camera features. It's a very great one to use a lot of things. It's a very useful chart for you. Lots of sample codes that you can use and learn from in terms of best practices and how to develop an application and leverage a feature. I'm going to share that with you as well. What else? Okay, let's get back to the slide deck. So skill assessment KPI. So for yourself, for Windows Phone, we need you need to know XAML. XAML is the code we use for user interface. You need to know that in order to create a user interface, the user interface or the UX of your application, and the code behind which is the engine of your app in either C# or VB. There's also C++, WinRT, but like the initial thing that you need to know about mostly is going to be C#, VB, and XAML. If you have a Silverlight background, that would be great. .NET, developer. We're going to take that more into details in our next session when we talk about Windows Phone 8 and introduction to Windows Phone 8 development. The MIA Windows Phone 8 quality standards. Actually, let me before that ask you about the quality. So let me ask you guys a question here. What do you think about quality? How do you know? Oops. Okay. How do you define quality? The definition of quality um, is very tricky here. So let me ask a question really. How do you define quality? I'd like to see you responding through the IM. What is a quality app from your point of view? Yeah, we're finding only one. Okay, simplicity slash design could be. So okay, so if it's simplicity slash design, okay, app has to be useful with a good user interface. Yes, I agree. Simple design, I agree. Bug free, definitely. Interactive UI. I love that. Everyone is really coming up with great answers. Usable at least does not need a user manual, or you can put but definitely that's the user experience when the application is not confusing. This is really like great, guys. But I mean, like what you're saying is totally right. However, it's like if you just think about things. Okay, let me share for you an application. So the definition of quality has been really tricky. What we've through the past few years, and we've tried to come up with lots of things about how to define a quality app. So actually, for me, like a quality app, would it be an app that I say it's a high quality app, or would it be an application maybe that I don't like and see like it's a zero quality application, but lots of people like it? So I think the best one to judge whether it's a good app or a bad app is how many downloaders for the app or how many viewers, even if the application is not a good app. So let me give you an example of this application. Let me share with you my screen. Can you guys all see this? Okay, would you please repeat? Yes. So my question is, uh, for quality, defining quality for an application is very hard and it's very tricky. And you can get different people. Like someone tells you like, yeah, the application should have this feature. The application should have a wow factor. The application should have a perfect design, simple design. Does not require tutorials. As you can see, every one of you kind of define the word quality according to his own preference. Correct. So what I can say is this is actually the real definition of quality. When everyone is saying that this application is hello, when everyone is saying that this application is kind of he sees the application as the best. So take a look at this application. It's called My Rubber Duck. Okay. So as you can see, this is a very simple app. All what it does is once you click on the duck, it quacks. That's what it does. Honestly, this is the only feature of the application. How do you rate such an app? Is it a good app or a bad app? Yeah, I hope you're hearing the voice. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, but how would you see that as an application? Funny app. But my question, is it a good app or a bad app? Simple design for children. Okay, so the best one to tell whether an app is good or bad is not me, is not you. It's how many people really like the application. If the most people like the application, then this is a good app. Even if the application is as simple as just a click and a sound. So for the people who said it's a bad app, let's go to the store and rate it. Not rate it. Let's see how many ratings it's got on the store. Oh, I hope I have internet connection working. Okay, cancel. Okay, hold on let me underscore my rubber duck. Can you see the application's got 283 raters, reviewers with 4.5 stars. So imagine if okay, let's I don't want to go through any other application, but if you go to one of the big apps, you might not find this rating. So this is what I'm calling about quality. Quality is not about having the best design. Quality is not, I mean, like, not only about having the best design, not only about having the best features leveraged, but it's also about how people see the application. If an application, I see it, for example, as it's a very bad app, but like it has thousands of users downloading it and using it on a daily basis, believe me, this is a great app. And such an application, so this is for me an application that lots of people are using. Having over 200 reviewers for an application, that's a big number. And if you even read the comments for such an application, it's very funny. You can find people like telling you the app should, when you press the picture and the sound should be released when you release your finger from the picture, not when you press. You'll find such funny stuff. But this is how people define quality on an application. However, that did not stop us. So yeah, here's a comment. Yes, sure, my 3 years old nephew will sure like it. Yeah, that's for sure. You can so maybe it's not the app for you, but it's an app for someone else. So the definition of quality, again, it's tricky. It's because you're targeting lots of people. It depends on your target audience. If they like the application, then it's a good application, and then you're doing the right thing. However, that did not stop us from working on defining what a Windows Phone 8 a quality app should look like. So a quality application, so it's yes, it is subjective. However, there are a lot of things that can be measured in terms of making sure that the application is being as most useful for the users as possible. So we developed this, or actually I did this MIA Windows Phone 8 quality standards. It's a tool I made available on SkyDrive. So let me share with you how it looks like. A kind of an Excel sheet. You all have access to it. Here it is. So that's a so I kind of broke down the requirements for applications in terms of the features. So an application for me, a high quality application would have, as most of you said, a great design, simple design, a design that won't make people kind of take a look in terms of, keep looking where to find for example, how to share this news, how to use this, how to use that. If the application helps you not to be doing this, then the application is good. The application is user friendly, then the application from a design perspective is good. If the application is compliant to the Microsoft design guide principles and guidelines, then the application from a design perspective is good. What about the features? Features is the good thing about the features that is that if the feature is there or not, you can definitely check that. So this is what I developed. It's the MIA Windows Phone quality standards. This is a version 2, and I'm hoping to get it as a third version of it. Please feel free to download it as well. So I had, like, you just type your app name. For example, you have an app idea in your head. So you type your app name here. You don't come close to these 4 columns. This is just an indicator whether it's a star app or a top app application or not. There are required features, extras and bonus features. You have to get 5 out of 5 of the required features for an application to be a good app. For example, the application should support live tiles. The application should have the 3-star tile sizes. The application should support low memory devices, because like low memory devices, this is a huge market for you. Then if your application supports that, you can definitely try that using the emulator you have, or testing that on a real device. But it helps you to really help to target more devices than just targeting the high-end devices. The fast app resume, which means that if you have a phone call or something in your application, and then go back to the application, you should not, and you start the application again, should not start from the beginning. You should resume the application where you stopped. So this is also a very important feature you have. I also added the app rating reminder, something that you should use, very, very easy to implement, so that you attract more, because it's as a behavior of users, they do not normally rate the applications. It's worldwide. For example, if you look at WhatsApp on even Google Play, you will find that WhatsApp and Google Play, it got, like, I don't know, maybe 100 to 500 million downloads or something in the past 30 days or so, with just like a 1 million if we can check that, but it's got a very low percentage of reviewers for the application, and the reviews and the ratings are very important for you as a developer to know whether your application is really good or not, whether the users like the app or not, whether you should push an update to your application and improve it, and so that you make the user experience better or not, so that even is good for you as a developer, so that you come up with a new application, you enhance your own skills, and eventually whenever you develop an app, you know what the users like and what they don't like. So this is just easy to implement. From my point of view, it's a required feature for a top application, that it pushes people to rate the application. Very easy to implement. You can just push it into your application code. Very easy to do. We've got also the extras, like, so here's, like, as you can see, like I wrote here minimum of 5, so these are the all required features. The minimum 2 extras and minimum 1 bonus. 2 extras, these are the features that we're going to be talking about, like lock notifications, cameras, the wallet, voice over IP, whether it's a native game, using speech APIs, using maps, in-app purchase, app-to-app communication, Bluetooth, networking. So if you have 2 of these and like the 5, then your application is, it's a top app. That's how I define the app, a top application. What about the other things? These are bonuses. Depends of whether your application can do it or not. But I can bet like most of the apps can support secondary tiles, sharing charms, dynamic content and data caching. A lot of things that you can use in your application, like SkyDrive connection, augmented reality. Depends on how your application is. You can just give 1 or zeros, the values 1 and zeros, and then eventually you can get whether it's a green flag or a red flag. So it's a this is how I did that. I hope that you liked it. You can use that as a reference for yourself to know, like, if your application is good or bad. Like, this is kind of a general one. It's a guideline. It's not a must, but it's a guideline for yourself to be working on enhancing the user experience about your application, and making sure that you're leveraging as much features as you can from the Windows Phone 8 platform. Any questions so far? Is it boring? Oh, thanks, Wael. Okay, perfect. Sure. So this is the quality standards we've covered. There are also some popular open source frameworks that are supporting Windows Phone 8. So now we've got like the Phone Gap, which is supporting Windows Phone 8. We've got Sencha Touch 2, SQLite for databases. We've got Unity 3D, Marmalades. These are for gaming. SharpDX. Lots of open source frameworks. If you are familiar with that, if you already have an application that you used on different platforms, you can definitely use that now, and port your own application to Windows Phone 8. If you are if you are young enough, maybe you haven't used any of these, it's okay, not bad at all. But if you already used any of these things, it's a very good push for you guys to get started developing applications, and porting your own application that you have on different platforms to Windows Phone as well. Why we use these open source frameworks? You don't have to, but sometimes people already developed an application like Unity 3D application, or the SQLite. They need to use a SQLite database for Windows Phone. So SQLite, they have this open source framework that they developed for Windows Phone 8 that you can use to make use of building databases in SQLite. There's also Unity 3D. Unity 3D is one of the most popular frameworks or platforms available for game development across not just Windows Phone, but the other mobile platforms as well, iOS and Android. So what you can do is you can develop an application using Unity 3D for Windows Phone. So if you have already a if you have already a game you developed in Unity 3D, you can use the same one, which use any of these open source framework. Okay, good question. So what are the applications that uses any of these open source framework? If you go to PhoneGap, actually, they tells you what are the applications they used. So let me Phone Gap. I just want to get the Windows Phone. Okay, hold on a second. Phone Gap, they had this Windows Phone 8. Phone Gap, Windows Phone 8. So here's the app gallery for PhoneGap, for example. These are the apps created with PhoneGap for Windows Phone 8. So these like Math IQ, My Sharp, you can find lots of these things you can use. So here's the link for you in the IM. So if for you if you want to check what are the applications that used PhoneGap for Windows Phone. You can do a lot of these things actually. Um, so it's an extra thing. I mean you don't have to use them at all. I mean like it depends about your application, your business logic. If you're already coming from a background that is different to Windows Phone, like if you're already you know a phone gap, you worked on it, you know you have a good experience on it, then you can leverage this framework for Windows Phone 8 and you know develop and port your own application to Windows Phone 8 as well. These are just options for you if you'd like to use that. Okay. Certificates. Okay, so for certifications for Windows Phone, like the official ones, there's these only, unfortunately, the ones that are official by Microsoft. These are Windows Phone 7 only, like pro designing and developing a Windows Phone application. This is the exam, and this is the course requested fundamentals of XAML and Microsoft Expression Blend. Fees may apply to these certificates. However, for me, like if you really, I mean, you don't need to reach that unless you need that for your own self, like getting a certificate and what have you. However, you can use the .toolbox Design All Star or complete the modules building apps for Windows Phone 8 Jumpstart on the Microsoft Virtual Academy. You know, you get points in each session you finish, and then you can just kind of at the end, you know, take these thing that you completed all the modules for building applications for Windows Phone 8. And regarding the design, this is the .toolbox design site. So if you go to toolbox, okay. So for the toolbox, this is a very handful website. It contains courses and tutorials. You can switch between both. The good thing about them, if you are not a good designer, like you know, most of us, I know, like you're either developer or designer. It's not like you can be both at the same time. Like this is not natural in us. So I know like most developers. I was in university at some point in time. We're Most of us were very code you know based. We all wanted to make sure that we make the best code behind the engine ever, and we never paid much attention to the UI and the user experience. However, it's not like taking a look at the applications. If you have an application that you know it's perfect performance and what have you, and but does not have a very cool user experience and user interface, most probably you're not going to download it unless it's the only one out there. So you have to learn about design. If you don't have the design skills, then you can go through these courses. So if you can see here, this is a very useful one. You can find the design principles, and this column for the design scenarios. So if you press at the design principle level 1, you can finish these courses, and you get like a rookie 1 principles. You will be a rookie one. You'll be a rookie principles designer. If you finish the courses about design scenarios, you'll be a rookie scenarios designer. If you finish both, then most probably you're gonna be a rookie designer. And you finish the 5 here and the 5 there, and there will be an all-star designer according to the toolbox designed by Windows Phone. There are also tutorials there, like about 7 tutorials about how to design application for Windows Phone and using the sketch flow for Blend. You can use that one, these ones as well. Very useful. And step by step you can use these ones as well. Very useful website, actually contains lots of cool things that you can leverage. Getting back to the slide deck, so we've got also developer roadmap for Windows Phone 8, starting from getting started, exploring, design concept, Dev Center. What's new in the Dev Center? Let me just go so that you can see it in a better resolution. So if you are a first time on Windows Phone 8, then these are the tutorials, hands-on labs. These are all links, guys. Okay, so if the ones in greens are hyperlinks. The ones in blue, these are kind of you know, like not hyperlinks. They like got an app idea already, like more of a comment or more of a comment or a milestone that you should reach. So all flags are milestone, like creating your first Windows Phone application. If you're a first-time Windows Phone 8 developer, then there's tutorials like Windows Phone for absolute beginners, Windows Phone Jumpstart tutorials, hands-on labs, design tutorials, resources. If you're an Android developer or an iOS developer, we've also got guides and tools that you can use to help you move to the Windows Phone as well. If you already have an experience on Windows Phone 8, then once you're done with these things, then you can, if you have an app idea, you can sketch and prototype your application, mock-up, design libraries, explore the Windows Phone toolkit, 8 tips for designing Windows Phone applications, get your project idea mock-up, get your feedback from the DPE team, use the MIA Windows Phone 8 quality standards checklist, then you develop the application, come up with version 1, make sure that you're leveraging the features of Windows Phone 8, and then you comply to the MIA Windows Phone quality standard, the one that we checked, and then you can test your application if needed, and leverage and explore the monetization options you have for your application, and then come up with a working version of the application and publishing it. So this is a kind of a learning roadmap for you guys. This is a learning map that you can all leverage and use in terms of Windows Phone 8 and how to get started and moving forward from, if you don't have any background, or if you already have, or you have a lot of background on some features, or you need to get started with other ones as well. So this is what we've uh, I need all these links after this session, please. Yes, Osama will be sharing this right after the session. If you can all stay on the call, I can just on the spot upload it on SkyDrive and share with you the link, and make so that you download it on the spot. So again, this is what we need. I mean, like that's kind of a very brief introduction about the Windows Phone resources currently available for developers for Windows Phone 8. Do you have any questions or any inquiries? Even like, I mean, feel free to ask me whatever you have on top of your mind right now.